I have been using AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude for over 1 year now. I have been trying to learn them as much as possible, to use them in my day-to-day tasks as much as possible. So much so that today majority of my time is spent on AI tools so that I can get more efficiency on my other tasks. Now, my parents use these AI tools for some of their day-to-day tasks. My wife uses these extensively. So they keep on asking me on how to get slightly better results because I use a bit more than them. So I thought that it would be a good idea to share some of the things that I have learned in past last 12 months on how to get better results with these AI tools. So starting with the first and the most important part, the prompt. Prompt is how we communicate with these AI tools and how we essentially get work done from them. You might have seen these ads that earlier I used to, treat ChatGPT like Google search, and it is quite true. I also used to give very simple search prompts, but now I have gotten better at it. Even if you ask ChatGPT or Gemini on how to give prompts, they will give you very detailed and very useful answers. But I can tell you how I work with these now when I have to get simple tasks done. So I use a three-layer structure, and this structure is context, the task, the main task that is to be performed, and the tone or the style or the preferences of how I want it to be done. So let us take this for an example. If I want to take some help from ChatGPT around personal finance, I will first give them context from where I am coming. For example, I am 28 years old, my salary is 80,000, and I live in Noida. And I'll set some context around them on what role they have to perform. Then the next part would be task, the main task that we want them to perform. So in this case, it would be suggest a spending breakdown that balances my quality of life and savings. And the third important part would be the tone or style or preferences of how I want my task to be done. Do I want a long and detailed answer? Do I want a short answer? Or do I want it to explain with me some examples? Or do I want it to explain me the rationale behind its thinking? This is a very simple structure. It can be done in 3 lines, but it not just helps them to deliver better answers, it also helps me to get a better understanding of how I want them to work for me. Coming to the second tip, this is around slightly larger tasks. So the first example was around very basic things that I want this to be done, and that prompt I will try to divide in three parts: context, task, and tone. But when I want slightly bigger tasks to be done, how do I perform them? So in such cases, earlier I used to dump all the information that I want in a single prompt, and they would give a result, and then I would try to edit it, but it just kept on becoming more confusing, and the results delivered were ultimately poor, and it took a lot of time as well. Now I try to take a top down kind of approach. First, I'll try to give a very broad and macro idea of the problem or the project that I want to do, and then try to understand the title, the sections or subsections that the AI tool thinks are valid for this particular case. And then I keep on growing the amount of information in those parts. So it is something like first you build the skeleton of the problem, and then you keep on adding details, you add muscles, and you add further details to the problem. So let us take an example of working around marketing plan of an online t-shirt store. Now this is a slightly bigger project. So in this case, I'll ask the AI tool to first have some basic sections or a broad macro view of how will we solve this, how do we look at this problem. Then we go into the further subsections of this, and then at the end I will ask it to add the finer details or the last text of the marketing plan. So this seems to work far better as compared to giving it a prompt in a single go. I read somewhere that this is also how the AI tools are supposed to work. They are supposed to work in layers and not at a single dump of information. The third point is that you have to be creative and challenge what you can ask these AI tools to do for you. For example, we did not expect it to make travel itineraries or help us in personal finance decisions, but it does a very good job. Of course, you have to back check these things, but it gives you a very good starting point. For example, we go for a 15-day trip every quarter. We try to do that. Now, I have tried to use these AI tools for planning entire itinerary, budget, things to visit, things to do with a very simple 5 to 6 line prompt. And we were amazed that the budget and everything that the AI tool generated was very close to what we actually ended up spending for that 15-day thing. Now, all these things are great, but it is very important to note that AI tools do make mistakes as well. And hence, something that has helped me a lot is to back check critical information from the other AI tools. So, for example, if I'm using ChatGPT to generate or to do a task for me, I find it very useful to get it vetted from Gemini or Claude, depending on what kind of task it is. If it is around language, I will want Claude to check it. If it is around search, I will want Perplexity or Gemini to back check it. So these were some very basic things that I have learned over last 12 months. I'm still learning this. I'm not an expert in this field. I try to use AI tools more and more for my day-to-day tasks. I would love to hear how you use AI tools. The more we use, the more we get better at it. I think it is an extremely important skill in our age to learn. People who will not learn AI might get left out ultimately. That's it for this video. Have a great day. Thanks.